Hello and welcome to the 34th Annual Rotary Club of Pearl River presentation of scholarships to high school and college students. I'm Joe Beckerly. I'll be helping you through the evening here this evening. Our first introduction is usually two people, our club president for the year and the chairperson of the scholarship committee. Luckily this year that person is one and the same. I'd like to introduce Ryan O'Gorman.
Thank you. Good evening. I'd like everyone to stand, and we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. Tonight is a culmination of many months of work that the Scholarship Committee puts in. So I'd like to begin by saying thank you to our committee members, Todd Askinis, Evelyn Beckerly, Joe Beckerly, Jaya Bhattacharya, Francis Brook, Raj Mehta, Ingrid Montgomery, Alan Now, Ray Pucci, Mike Sneidenfrau, and Doug Ward. For the past 3 months, we worked on and assigned scoring to each of the students who submitted for scholarships. So it's been a pretty rigorous process to select the recipients. So the 20 students that are receiving them tonight, congratulations. There are a couple of dignitaries in the room that I'd like to acknowledge. Dr. Marco Pocantesta, Superintendent of the Pearl River School District. Dr. Robert Mike Zagrelli, Principal of Pearl River High School. And Tom DePrisco, Board of Education member. I'd like to invite Dorothy Filoramo to come up to do the invocation.
Good evening. I am most proud to read the invocation tonight. It was written 4 years ago by a wonderful Rotarian who is no longer with us, Hans Cole. In his honor, these words are meant to be heard once again. We bow our heads and listen to Hans's words. Let us contemplate and reflect for a moment about these young lives and the good wishes we all have for their future. We ask for God's blessing upon the young women and men whom we are honoring tonight for their achievements. We celebrate their creative and focused efforts and look forward to all they will accomplish in the future. We are hopeful the institutions that receive them will engage them intellectually, morally, and spiritually, and that they will provide a safe and open environment for them to grow in wisdom and in love of country. God has given us many gifts and talents. May these students discover and develop their intellectual and individual gifts and talents through their scholastic journey, and ultimately re-gift them back to their own community. We ask God's blessing for the Rotarians and others who have generously supported the Scholarship Foundation and made these awards possible. It is our hope that the recipients of our awards will draw upon the wisdom and the experience of their parents and teachers and respond generously to the concerns of tomorrow. For all this, we humbly pray. Amen.
I'd like to introduce Frank Neeson, the president of the Rotary Scholarship Foundation, to come speak about the history of this scholarship foundation.
Good evening and welcome everyone, the students, parents, and their friends. And before we get to the main event, though, I'd just like to make two comments. I'm going to give you a little bit about the when, the who, and the how of the Scholarship Foundation. And I prepared my comments using AI so that I can disclaim any responsibility for the omissions, the errors, and the inconsistencies. And being in the company of such outstanding students, I'm under a lot of pressure, I gotta tell you. And then later you can tell me what the difference is between artificial intelligence and real intelligence. So thank you. Our Rotary Club was really chartered in 1935 as an organization to serve the community. Sometime in the 40s, the Rotary Club started giving scholarships, minor amounts, $50, $500. And it was realized, though, that it was getting more and more difficult to raise the money and that we needed to find some way to sustain the scholarships for the future. In 1989, our friend Bob Bergman got together with a number of people and sat down and started to investigate the possibility of a long-term, tax-free organization that would sustain itself for the future. In 1989, the opportunity to do that came along with our past president and local businessman, Ed Boughton. Ed Boughton came and put a challenge out there for the Rotary Club. He said, I will contribute up to $50,000, whatever the other members of the club would pledge. Well, 60 people came forward, and with a major contribution, both by Jeffrey Keon and also by Carl Langren, we were able to match his $50,000, and we started out with a basis of $100,000. We were fortunate enough to have within the organization some local talents who put together the Constitution and the bylaws. And some of the people involved in that were Mike Fury, who was a local attorney, Al Gurovich, who was a CPA, and George Bergerman, who was a Supreme Court Justice. So they managed to put all the paperwork together and form the organization with a mission to open education opportunities for students through and beyond the 21st century. Some of the things you should know about the functioning of the foundation. All Rotary members are members of the foundation. So anything that you see as a result of what the Rotary Club does, there are a lot of people behind the scenes who are contributing to that. The first board were names familiar to the community: Roger Ackerman, Ron Beckerly, Ed Boughton, Bob Bergman, Mike Fury, Mark Griffith Sr., and Guy Vuzzo. A committee was formed for the selection of deserving students, which was originally chaired by Gene Fitzpatrick, taken over later by Frank Reba, who kept that position until he was 90 years of age, which doesn't look that far away right now. And currently our president, Ryan O'Gorman. All information that we receive in the applications is held in strict confidence, and the choices are made without being named until the actual selection. And the individuals selected are based on need, scholarship, and extracurricular activities. The scholarships are awarded only from the earnings of the fund. We started with $100,000. We've developed a system we feel that's going to keep that in perpetuity, and so that only the earnings from the, quote, portfolio, if you will, are going to sustain the Scholarship Foundation. Children and grandchildren of club members are ineligible so that we avoid any indication of impropriety for application and use of the funds. The funds have been managed professionally, and our past president, Doug Ford, yes. Doug is currently with Wells Fargo, and he manages our money and has done so for years, so we're very fortunate there. Along the years, the original principal increased in a number of ways. We got an annuity from the Boughton family, from Ed and Laura, for $261,000, which gave us one bump in the portfolio. We have an annual golf outing, for which we would love to have some of you golfers or hackers. I have to be a hacker, but we would love to have you there come out in September and join us. That's the way we raise funds as well. And the golf outing was originally started by Jeff Keon, and then it was taken over by Jim Shepard with Jim Trojan and with Gibby Sweet, who some of you know. And they were really guiding us through the successive years until it was now taken over by Phil Donnelly. So we're happy to have had that. We've had the named scholarships. Each named scholarships is the result of a one-time $10,000 contribution to the Rotary Foundation. The class of '62 had continuous contributions, and currently that number runs about $140,000 from that one class, which is pretty amazing. And then we've had numerous contributions given to us by your neighbors, your friends, and your local merchants. Okay, so when you do business in town, just keep in mind some of those merchants have made their contributions to your scholarship. All of which brings us to today, where the fund has grown from the original $100,000 to approximately $1,400,000. Pretty awesome. And with some research done by Ryan, we've realized the fact that this is, without a doubt, the largest Rotary Scholarship Foundation in the country. So, pretty amazing. Here comes the only commercial. We're still accepting funds. Okay. The good news for the students of Pearl River and their parents is that in its 34 years, the foundation has awarded $1,306,500 to 572 deserving students. And as Joe Beckley mentioned, the vision was to continue through the 21st century, and here we are. And finally, as far as Gump would say, that's all I have to say about the foundation.
Okay, the time you've all been waiting for, time to give out some cash. All right, our first award is the Ed Boughton Memorial Award. The scholarship winner is Bridget Duggan. Presenting the scholarship on behalf of the Boughton family is Jim Trojan. So Jim, why don't you come on up? Jim is the vice president of the Rotary Scholarship Foundation. Now, unfortunately, Bridget couldn't be here tonight. She had said she wasn't going to be able to be here because she's actually at school taking classes. Her mom was supposed to accept on her behalf, but we found out just this morning that they had a death in the family, so they will not be able to make it here tonight. Bridget has emailed her gratitude and has promised to come by, and we'll get her award at some point. But just a little bit about Bridget. She's a Pearl River High School and Marist College graduate. She is in the Physician's Assistant Program at Marist College. Again, that's why she's currently taking classes, and she has a 3.87 GPA. This is her fourth time receiving a Rotary Scholarship, and in her essay, Bridget wrote about how her desire to give back and serve others was something she learned from her grandfather. So with that, unfortunately, again, Bridget or her mom couldn't be here tonight. We'll keep them in our thoughts and prayers, but we'll ask Jim to say a few words about Ed Boughton, who this Memorial Scholarship is named after.
Thank you. My president, Frank Neeson, took some of my thunder. He talked mostly about Ed Boughton, but Ed Boughton, he started in a candy store right down here on Franklin Avenue after World War II. He built it up to a major empire with about 5 different companies, and he became a generous man through the community, not only to Rotary, but to the Lutheran Church was another thing he donated to. He was dead fast in favor of scholarships. In fact, if he had his way, if we could raise enough money, we'd give full scholarships to each of the recipients, but that wasn't the case. That's about all I have to say. Thank you.
So Jim's going to stay here with me because the next scholarship is the Laura Boughton Memorial Scholarship, and the scholarship winner is Alana Donahue. So Alana, come on up. Just come on right over here, Alana. Alana's a Pearl River High School graduate and completed her freshman year at St. Thomas Aquinas College as a Dean's List student with a 3.68 GPA, majoring in early childhood education. Alana wrote in her essay that since starting college, she's been involved in the education and mental health clubs and volunteers with the Rockland GAA. So Jim, would you please present Alana with her scholarship award, and if you could tell us a little bit about Laura Boughton.
You want to take a picture?
Take a picture. Come on.
You're going to stand right there. Jim? Jim? Stand right there.
Thank you. Laura Boughton, along with Ed, was a great help to our club. I happened to graduate with their daughter, who was my valedictorian in 1961. Unfortunately, she gave the scholarship out a couple of times, but she's passed away. Laura was a wonderful lady who did her own way great things for the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. All right, next scholarship is not a memorial scholarship. It's the Donald and Betsy Brenner Scholarship, because Donald and Betsy are here tonight. Our scholarship winner is Nicole Wirtz. So Nicole, why don't you come on up? So Nicole is a communications disorders major at Sacred Heart University with a 3.56 GPA. This is her second Rotary Scholarship. Nicole wrote about how her Alpha Delta Pi sorority takes community service pretty seriously, as well as philanthropy, which includes raising funds and helping at the Ronald McDonald House in Connecticut. And if you didn't know, that's where Sacred Heart University is. And now we'll have Donald and Betsy Brenner please present Nicole her scholarship and then come and say a few words.
It was 60 years ago that my husband joined the Pearl River Rotary here. And both he and I went through all of our schooling on scholarship. He became a civil engineer with a master's degree in civil engineering and also went on to become an attorney. I went through education and became a first grade teacher. What happened was God in life has been very good to us. My husband asked me one year what I wanted for my birthday, and I said, We've just been given so much in our lives. I want to be able to give back the same way it's been given to us. So we decided to make this scholarship award, which, as he said, is different from a memorial award. And we just want to say how important it is to recognize all those that have helped you and given you scholarship, particularly with your parents first, because they were the first ones to give you a scholarship. And then when you have the opportunity to just remember and to give back to your community.
My only statement is that this meeting is so important, I came out of my cocoon, took off my mask and said, thank you, everybody.
All right, thank you, Don and Betsy. All right, our next award is the Gus Pappas Memorial Award. The scholarship winner is Julianne Donahue. And presenting the scholarship is Chris Carmusis, the nephew of Gus Pappas and past president of the Pearl River Rotary Club. So if you both would come on up. Julianne, come on this side, Julianne. Julianne is receiving her 4th scholarship from the Pearl River Rotary Club. She is attending Binghamton University, majoring in biomedical engineering and maintaining a 3.85 GPA. Pretty impressive. She is in the Society of Women Engineers, Binghamton Biomedical Engineering Society, the American Association for Engineers Education, and the Kappa Kappa Gamma, all of which give back to the community fundraising through dance marathons, clothing swaps, bake sales, blood drives, and so much more. Not sure we have time to study. At this time, we'll ask Chris to present the award to Julianne and then come over and say a few words about Uncle Gus. Take a photo first.
Take a photo first. You're going to look that way, and then you're going to look the other way.
Julianne, about the only thing that I understood about all your accomplishments were Kappa Kappa something, being Greek. I mean, I got that. And thank you about that Uncle Gus thing, because that leads me right into what I was going to say. I'm sure you've got an uncle or two? Okay. Lots of them, right? I have a couple of them as well. But my uncle really was Gus Pappas. He is my uncle. But he was more than just my uncle. He was an uncle to pretty much everybody he knew. And I don't know any of the club members that don't call him Uncle Gus. He was a very special person. Education meant a lot to him. Hard work was his mantra. He always told me, because he knew I wasn't that great in school, as long as you're willing to work, that's cool too. He came from Greece, uneducated pretty much. He went through the 4th or 5th grade. Between the war and everything, he couldn't go to school. He came here, he was 16. He was working full time. He put himself through school, as well as working. And he studied things not just for a degree, because he was a florist. He worked. He just did it because he loved it. And what you're doing, I'm sure he would be extremely proud.
Thank you, Chris. All right, our next award, moving right along here, is the Heinz Allmeyer Jr. Class of 1961 Memorial Award. The scholarship winner is John Sullivan. Presenting the scholarship will be Jim Trojan once again, so come on back up, Jim. Unfortunately, John is unable to be here tonight because of a previously scheduled trip, but I believe at least his mom or his parents are here. Come on up, Mom. A little bit about John. He attends Fairfield University and holds a 3.79 GPA as a finance and accounting major. This is his 2nd Rotary scholarship. John plays rugby and volunteers at the Pearl River Little League. He said he is very appreciative of the Rotary Club's generosity in being awarded the scholarship and hopes to one day show his appreciation in another way at another time. So we'll ask, Jim, you already gave her the scholarship, I think. All right, now, so Jim, if you'd say a few words about the class of 61, please. Actually, a photo first, if you don't.
Photograph, okay.
And then you're going to just going to look right over there.
Over here, okay. Okay. This award is in memory of my fellow classmate of the class of 1961, Heinz Allmeyer Jr. He was a lieutenant in the Marine Corps in Vietnam. Graduated Pearl River. He went to New Paltz. He became a scholar athlete up there. And in fact, after he passed away, New Paltz still has a scholarship in his name that they give out each year at the school. He went into ROTC Marines. He went to Vietnam in 1968. His first day there, he was killed in action. And I think he was one of the first people in Rockland County that died over there. His remains were not found until the 90s. And he was finally brought home and laid to rest at Arlington. A super good guy, and we played practice football right where this place is right now for the high school. I thank you very much.
Thank you, Jim. All right, the next award is actually for my uncle, the Robert Beckerly Memorial Award. The scholarship winner is Nora Longing. Nora can't be here with us tonight, and that will be apparent in a moment, but I'll ask her mom to come up and accept on her behalf. Mom, is she here? There she is. And I'll ask my Aunt Evelyn Beckerly to come and present the scholarship. Nora is a deanless student, nursing student at Northeastern University, where she maintains a 3.81 GPA. This is her third Rotary scholarship. She is currently still in Boston right now working on her summer nursing co-op. That's why she can't be with us. She volunteers for Operation Smile, the American Red Cross, the Nurses Student Association, and the Boston Marathon. And this past year, Nora worked 36 hours a week in an inpatient care nursing co-op at Beth Israel Hospital. She said in her essay that she learned the importance of service to others while attending RILA as a sophomore in high school. And RILA, if you don't know, is a Rotary-sponsored multi-day youth leadership conference. So at this time, I'll ask Evelyn to present the scholarship to Nora's mom, and then come say a few words about Uncle Bob.
Another one? Thank you, thank you. Well, congratulations to all the scholarship winners. There were many great applications and essays, so you've all done a great job. Thank you. It's my pleasure this evening to present this memorial scholarship in honor of my late husband, Bob Beckerly. And this is my 18th year of awarding this scholarship to a local Pearl River student. The scholarship is a celebration of Bob's life, and he would be very happy that it's going to a smart, talented, and dedicated young woman from the community. As a civil engineer with a graduate degree, Bob had a great love for the sciences. Prior to his death, he was Director of Environmental Management and Engineering for the town of Orangetown. In that position, as well as in life, he had great respect and appreciation for all the scientific disciplines and professions. So I'm delighted that Nora Longing, a nursing student, as Joe said, of Northeastern University, is this year's recipient. I just want to tell you a little bit more about Nora that Joe didn't tell you. Nora was born in China, and when she was 14 months old, Lorraine, a single professional woman, adopted her from an orphanage in China and brought her to the United States. Now, years later, and grown into an amazing young woman, I note that in addition to her challenging nursing studies, Nora found time to volunteer for all of the activities that Joe mentioned. It is my pleasure to present this award in memory of Bob for Nora's continued personal achievements and also an admiration of Nora's mom, Lorraine, who has raised such a wonderful and successful daughter. Congratulations.
All right, our next award is the George Bergerman Memorial Award. The scholarship winner is Alana Fitzgerald, who could also not be here tonight because of a work conflict. Is a mom or a parent here or somebody? Come on up. Thank you, Mom. Presenting the scholarship is Maureen Costello, daughter-in-law of George and Nancy Bergerman. So Maureen, come on up too, please. Come on this side. A little bit about our winner, Alana. This is her 4th time receiving a Rotary Scholarship, and she attends Binghamton University, majoring in financial economics, maintaining a 3.39 GPA. Through her sorority, Alpha Phi Omega, Alana does volunteer work helping the homeless population in the Binghamton area. She's also a member of the Economics Club, the Actuarial Association, and the Association for Women in Mathematics. And we'll make sure, well, her mom is here, so her mom will deliver the check for her. And now we'll ask Maureen, wait, photo first, 2 photos, and then we'll ask Maureen to say a few words about George Bergerman.
The Honorable George M. Bergerman was born and raised in New York City. He attended Horace Mann School, Trinity College, and New York University of Law. He received his JD degree in 1959 and came to Rockland County, where he entered private practice. His public service began in 1970 when he became a town attorney in the town of Orangetown. In 1975, he was elected town justice in the town of Orangetown. In 1985, he was elected to serve as a judge in the Rockland County Family Court, and in 1987, he was elected to serve as a justice with the New York State Supreme Court and was re-elected to that position in 2001. Judge Bergerman was an active participant in the Rockland County community. He was a member of and past president of the Pearl River Rotary. He was a member of the board of Nyack Hospital and was a member and past master of the Masons. In June 2005, Judge Bergerman passed away after a distinguished life of public service and commitment to family.
All right. Our next memorial award hits home a little bit for us. It's the Hans Cole Memorial Award because we lost Hans just this past year. Presenting the award is Hans's daughter, Jennifer Cole, if you'd mind coming up, and our scholarship winner is Marina Capone. Marina is a Pearl River High School senior who will be attending North Carolina State University and will major in exploratory studies. She's ranked 27th in her class with a 95.86 grade point average. Seems like Marina's involved in just about anything. She plays soccer, ice hockey, and softball, Rockland and New York Math League, the Interact Club, which is a Rotary-sponsored club, Student Council, Varsity Athletes Against Substance Abuse. She also volunteered for Share Christmas, Color Run, school tours, book fairs, softball clinics, and so much more that I can't list here. Pretty impressive stuff for someone who, in her essay, wrote about how she didn't speak much as a young child. So I'll ask Jennifer to please present Marina with her scholarship. We'll pose for the 2 photos, and then Marina, if you wouldn't mind saying a few words about your late father, Hans Cole.
Well, great. Thank you so much. This is so fun for me. My dad wrote the invocation that you heard earlier, and I think you could hear how much he really valued education. This is such a wonderful night. It's one I've heard so much about over the years. He was a Rotarian, I don't know, for at least 20 years. I was worried about him when he retired, whether he'd find anything to do, and when he found the Rotarians, I was not worried anymore. My dad was an immigrant from Germany. He came to this country. He worked really hard to come here. ended up doing an amazing career in photography, married my mom, who was Chinese, so at the time a mixed marriage was not very common, so a German with a Chinese woman, not even my Chinese family was so thrilled about that. He worked really hard. We had amazing family memories over his 86 years. And as you heard, he passed away in December. So my son just finished his freshman year at Syracuse. I went to Fairfield, by the way, so I heard Mrs. Sullivan about Fairfield, so yes, okay, we'll talk about that later, Stags up. So our family just went through this college process. So I know some of you are already returning from many years at college, and some of you are just going, and the college process is insane. So on behalf of our family, I just want to say congratulations to all of you for all these amazing achievements, for picking the right school for yourselves, for all these successes. Marina. So as in 2023, you mentioned AI, right? So of course you get someone's name and you're like, okay, who are they? So I asked my kids, they're like, okay, we're gonna look her up on social media. We found not a lot on Marina. So where are her parents? Bravo. Keep that up. I think it's great. But we did find out she played hockey. So we too are a hockey family. So that was amazing. And my son was so thrilled. So if you know about hockey, it's a really tough sport. It takes a lot of skill, a lot of tenacity. I think for a girl to play hockey also takes a heck of a lot of courage, so that gave me so much joy to hear that someone with a lot of courage and vigor was achieving and getting this memorial scholarship. So I think my dad would be thrilled about it, so I look forward to everything you're going to achieve, because I am going to look for you on social media. And thank you for having me tonight. This has been great.
Thank you, Jennifer. And as she mentioned, her dad, Hans, was a world-renowned photographer and our resident Rotary photographer for many years. And if you're wondering why we have this photo up here, this is a Hans Cole original. And Bob Bergman, would you come up and talk about the photo, please? We're going to take just a short pause from the award program at the moment.
What you see here is one of the rarest photographic examples you could ask for. It's the image of the flag raising at Iwo Jima, and it happens to be the most reproduced image in photographic history. This print is one of the rarest prints in existence. We don't know how many there are, but just a handful. So it is literally priceless. Give you a little bit of background. Just like Rotary clubs do all the time, we have an idea and then it grows and grows. This came out of a gift from Hans shortly before he died, and it was very heartfelt and important to him. One of our Rotary members, Kate Raffis, said, we should chip in and this should go for a permanent memorial to Hans. Actually, it was permanently to be honored at that time. And over 30 Rotarians contributed to make this a living memorial. It's going to be given, loaned in perpetuity to the school district and the library for permanent display during the school year and in the summer months here at the library. This is such a great testimony to a wonderful man.
Thank you, Bob. And I said a moment ago, as a Hans Cole original, he did not take the photo at Iwo Jima. He wasn't there. But his work through Time Life, he was able to get the negative and reproduce it from the original negative. All right, moving on. Our next award is the Russell Fisher Memorial Award. The scholarship winner is Ashlyn Davin. And presenting the scholarship will be Jaya Bhattacharya. Jaya is a past president of the Rotary Club of Pearl River. Come on up, Ashlyn. So Ashlyn is a Dean's List graduate student at Manhattanville College in the Graduate School of Education, studying childhood education and special education. This is her 4th Rotary Scholarship. She also holds a 3.95 grade point average. She's a teaching assistant at Franklin Avenue Elementary School, tutors and mentors 4th grade students and volunteers at Deja Vu Dance for seniors, Ashlyn wrote in her essay that she had graduated with a fashion and media studies degree, but while working with and mentoring children, she discovered what she was really meant to do and decided to go back to school to become a teacher. And now we ask Jaya to present Ashlyn with her scholarship. Take your photos, and then Jaya, if you wouldn't mind saying a few words about Russell Fisher.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Russell Fisher, this award is given in memory of Russell Fisher, and I was a very close friend of Russell Fisher. She would have been very happy to hear that you're going to be a teacher yourself. Russell Fisher's husband, Dr. Eddie Fisher, has moved to California, and he requested me to give this award to you. And Russell Fisher was also a school teacher. She was a kindergarten and first grade teacher, and she was a teacher of teachers. She used to mentor teachers as well as the students who wanted to be teachers. She was very active in our Pearl River Rotary Club, and she was also awarded a very high honor by our club. And one of her last wishes was to go to India and see Taj Mahal. And I'm so happy to tell you all that we were able to give her her last wishes. And this is in honor of Russell Fisher. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Our next award is the Joan and Michael Fury Memorial Award. The scholarship winner is Thomas Cassane. And presenting the scholarship will be past Rotary President Bob Simon. Bob, why don't you come on up? Thomas is a Pearl River High School senior who will be attending Binghamton University as a pre-law major. He has a 92.3 average. He's a member of the National Honor Society and the World Language Honor Society and has taken a number of AP courses. He is on the varsity winter and spring track teams, while also taking part in mock trial as the lead attorney, pep band, concert band, and theater band. Thomas wrote in his essay that it was his mock trial experience that helped him figure out what his future goals would be. So now we'll ask Bob to present Thomas with his scholarship, and take your photos, and then come over and say a few words about Joan and Michael Fury.
Good evening. This award is given in memory of Joan and Michael Fury. Joan and Michael Fury are acknowledged for their support of the Rotary Club of Pearl River and the community in which they lived. A member of the Rotary Club of Pearl River since 1971, Michael Fury served as our club president from 1986 until 1987 and was one of the incorporators of the Rotary Scholarship Foundation in 1989. But his goal for the Scholarship Foundation was to find a way to assist any Pearl River student who wanted to continue his or her education after high school. He came to Pearl River in 1953, established a law firm of Fury, Kennedy, and Griffin. From the start, Mike immersed himself in community causes. One of his first projects was to help Dominican College of Blauvelt expand from a 2-year college into a 4-year college, which is now a 4-year university. Pro bono also describes Mike's service as a past trustee at St. Margaret's Church and the Pearl River Public Library. He was a founding council and incorporator of the Union State Bank in 1969. At Union State, he held a number of leadership positions, including director, corporate secretary, and general counsel. But with the support of his wife, Joan, they have both made our club and our Scholarship Foundation what it is today. In Rotary, our motto is service above self, and Mike lived that motto every day. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. The good news is we're halfway there. All right, the next award is the Jeffrey Keon Memorial Award. The scholarship winner is Megan Holt. Presenting the scholarship is one of Jeffrey's family members, Will Matei. If you'd both come on up. Megan is a Pearl River High School senior, ranked 14th in the class. She'll be attending Marist College as an English and secondary education major, my alma mater, so good luck, Red Foxes. She received numerous academic awards and honor societies, including excellence in AP Literature and Latin. She is also skilled in ballet and has more than 10 years training with the New York City Ballet and the American Ballet Theater. Megan wrote in her essay about the connection of dance and service, having performed in hospitals and nursing homes, and also teaching children with disabilities and seeing them learn and grow through dance. So now we'll ask Will to please present Megan with the award. Did you take your photos already?
Yes, we did.
Oh, excellent. Good work.
Hey, listen, paying attention.
And it only took 10 people to figure this out. So we'll talk a little bit about Jeffrey.
Thank you. I can't tell you what an honor it is to be asked by the Pearl River Rotary to speak about Jeffrey Keon and the award today. Jeffrey, along with my mom Angela, and several people in this room have done and did a lot of things for people in the community here in Rockland County and for people worldwide. From helping the animals at the High Tor shelter, to getting water to people who didn't have it, to getting over 100,000 people vaccinated from polio, and to proposing and starting the golf outing, which is a big fundraiser for the foundation. I watched this man goad the people at an outing, not once, not twice, but at least a half a dozen times to pay up over $2,500 for a salami. So that's amazing to get to have that done and to do what he did for the community and the people here and worldwide. Being an educator, this is a very exciting thing for me, and I can't thank everybody enough. Congratulations to Megan and to all the award winners today. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
That salami story is true, by the way. All right, next is the Henry and Anna Langren Memorial Award. The scholarship winner is Ava DeLuca, and presenting the scholarship is Pearl River Rotarian Carl Langren.
Well, hello,
Ava is a Pearl River High School senior who will be studying mechanical engineering at Georgia Tech. Ava has a 99.9 GPA and is ranked number 5 in her class. As you can imagine, with that kind of GPA, she has received all the academic awards. Ava is a varsity tennis player, was in the ski club, Pirates for Paws, the Rockland and State Math Leagues, and the Senior Show. Ava wrote about Transplant Kindness in her essay, which is a nonprofit formed by a family friend who needed an organ transplant. She and her family have been heavily involved in that cause for some time. She also works at Dairy Queen in Montvale and said we can all go over after this presentation for a free cone. Carl, if you haven't already, please present Ava with her award, take your photos, and then come on over and speak about your parents, Henry and Anna Langren.
Over this way, I'll get a picture of this.
Can't believe that average. Oh my God. 99. I always joke and say I graduated at the top of my class from Pearl River. It was the top of the bottom half. My father immigrated to Pearl River from Sweden in 1924, and my mother some few years later. He came here because he had an uncle, Frank Landgren, who lived here in Pearl River, and he started in the electrical business in 1924. They were proud of their Swedish heritage, but very proud to be Americans. My sister graduated from Pearl River. I graduated from Pearl River in 1959. My son and daughter graduated in 80 and 82. And it's just, I remember talking to Ed Bounton in the fall of '88 about the scholarships, and that was when we got together and did this. And I think about Eddie so much. It was a great idea that he had, and to this day, we are very thankful that he did it. Thank you.
All right. Our next award is also one that hits home for us. It's the Ed Reynolds Memorial Award. Dr. Reynolds just passed away less than 2 weeks ago. And we are proud but sorry that we are awarding this scholarship in his name today. The scholarship winner is Emily Gilligan. Presenting the scholarship will be past Rotary President Jim Murphy. Come on up, Emily. Emily has a 99.3 average and is ranked 7th in her class here at Pearl River High School. She intends to study engineering at Carnegie Mellon, right? Carnegie Mellon? Correct. All right. Thank you. Again, with that GPA, there are too many academic accolades and achievements to list them all. She was in the Interact Club, again, a Rotary-sponsored service club at the high school, played JV softball and ran varsity cross country. She also competed in the New York State Math League. She has volunteered with People to People, a number of our Rotary Club's activities like Share Christmas and community cleanups. Emily wrote in her essay how she was deeply impacted while volunteering at People to People during the holidays with their Project Joy. She noted that the wish lists for kids from poor families didn't include toys and games, but rather the necessities of life like coats and socks. And that had an impact on her, as she wrote. Jim, if you haven't already, please present her with the award. Take your photos, and then please come and say a few words about Ed Reynolds.
Thank you, Joe. I'm going to take an extra couple of minutes because it's 2 weeks ago. And I'm also going to point out that I know that Ed is not smiling down on us. Ed is laughing right now. And I'll get to that in just a minute because of you, Emily. I didn't find it out till I walked in the room. He's laughing. We lost Ed 2 weeks ago after a full life of 90 years and 52 years as a Pearl River Rotarian. I was very, very lucky, and so were many others. I had lunch with Ed for most Thursdays for the 17 years that I was a fellow Rotarian with him, and more recently, most Tuesdays, with a few guys who enjoyed each other's company and eating. And this is where you come in, Emily. Ed had a place that he liked to go. It kind of annoyed the rest of us because, you know, Ed, you learn something when you go out to eat with him. He loved raw bar seafood, rare steak, and thick slices of onions on about anything. Well, because he loved the raw bar, when he got to pick, 2 out of 3 times he would try to go to Gilligan's. That was his favorite, and it was somewhat annoying to us sometimes. But last Tuesday, 2 days ago, the Tuesday guys went to Gilligan's and had lunch in his memory. So this is great. Couldn't make that up. I also learned some things about Ed that's relevant to tonight. He had a very rich education himself. Xavier High School in Manhattan, Fordham University in the Bronx, where through ROTC he received a commission in the United States Air Force along with his diploma. Then back to Manhattan for dental school at Columbia University. Ed was an Ivy League guy, but in all the years I've known him, he never brought that up. He never bragged on it. But education was very important to him, his own, and you'll hear more. Then there's where and how he spent his life. After dental school, he served for 2 years at the Strategic Air Command Base in Albany, Georgia, as a captain and a base dentist. Then, he moved his young family to 297 Orangeburg Road in Pearl River, where in the back of his lot, he built a dental office suite and a successful practice, and where he lived until 2 weeks ago. He was a proud Pearl River guy for 61 years. And his wife, Josephine, was good enough to join us tonight. Joe, I was going to talk about chocolate. I was going to talk about chocolate martinis and how you got him started on that, but I'll leave that out. We won't go there. Ed was a community leader here, serving on several nonprofit boards. There are a couple of guys in this room in their 50s who remember Ed as a Little League coach and umpire. And maybe most relevant tonight, Ed served as a trustee of Rockland Community College. Education was important for him, for himself, for his 8 children, for his 19 grandchildren, and for all the young people in Pearl River. Most importantly, Ed was a good friend to so many of us in this room. We miss him already, but it's an honor and a comfort for us to be able to give you, Emily, this scholarship in his honor and memory.
Well said, Jim. Thank you. All right, up next is the President's Award. The scholarship winner is Molly Devaney. Presenting the scholarship is our current Pearl River Rotary Club President, Ryan O'Gorman. So come on up, Molly. Molly is a Pearl River High School senior who will be attending Virginia Tech with plans to study meteorology. Molly has a 94.4 grade point average. She is a varsity cheerleader in the journalism club, academic team, and a school ambassador. She volunteers at Meals on Wheels, Buddy Ball, and Lord's Kids of Rockland. Molly's received numerous academic awards and is in a variety of honor societies. She wrote in her essay that she learned through Meals on Wheels that something as simple as a conversation with somebody who is lonely can make the world of difference. So now Ryan has already beat me to it. He presented the award. Did you take your photos?
Took the photos.
Take the photos. All right.
Learned after Will.
All right. So Ryan will now say a few words.
Okay. As the chair of the scholarship committee, I do all the redaction of all the information. I do not read the essays. I do not read the applications. I just take out all identifying information. I then give that to the scholarship committee so that they can make their decisions. Well, I did not read, as I said, I didn't read the essays. But when we picked the winners, when the scholarship committee picked the winners, I then go back through the essays. And for the President's Scholarship Award, what stood out for me is Meals on Wheels. I am a board member for Meals on Wheels. So immediately there, I selected you as the President's Award. So congratulations.
All right, our next award is actually 3 awards. It's the Pearl River High School Class of 1962 Scholarship Award. There are 3 winners, like I said. Our first recipient is Sophia DeLuca. So Sophia, come on up. And we'll ask Bob Bergerman to come back up. He's the treasurer of the Rotary Scholarship Foundation to please present the first Class of 1962 award to Sophia. Sophia is a Dean's List political science major at George Washington University with a 3.93 grade point average. This is her second Rotary Scholarship, and Sophia is in the Pi Sigma Alpha Honor Society. She was the vice president of the George Washington Club gymnastics team. She interned for Congresswoman Nancy Mace and volunteered at GW's Camp Kassim a camp for children whose caregivers have cancer. She wrote in her essay how she was completely blown away by the camp and what they do, and she can't wait to get back and continue volunteering with them. So, Bob, please present Sophia with her first award, with her scholarship. Let's take the photos. Let me get out of the way. All right. Thank you, Sophia. And we'll bring up our next class of 62 awardee. That's Aiden Morski. Actually, Aiden could not be here tonight. He has a health-related issue. But Aiden is a Pearl River High School senior who will be also studying political science in the Washington, D.C. area. He will be attending American University. Aiden has a 91.9 average, was a three-sport athlete on the football, wrestling, and track teams, while also participating in the Robotics Club, Rockland Debate, and Forensics League, the Interact Club, Mock Trial, Youth in Government, and the Journalism Club, along with a variety of volunteerism. And we'll make sure Aiden gets his award. Oh, I hear Aiden's mother's here. Is Aiden's mother? Come on up, Aiden's mother. So we'll get those photos. All right, and our third person receiving the Pearl River High School Class of 62 award is Kelly Gazzara. Kelly's in the front row. Kelly is a Pearl River High School senior who will be attending the University of Georgia in the fall as a psychology major. She ranks 13th in the class with a 98 average. She volunteers with Tall Pines, Orangetown Youth Court, Share Christmas, and Meals on Wheels. Kelly was the captain of the varsity swim team and a member of the Interact Club and Math League. She has a number of AP courses to her credit, as well as membership in a variety of honor societies, including the National Honor Society, the English, Science, and Foreign Language Honor Societies, just to name a few. And Bob, please present Kelly with her scholarship. Let's take a photo with all three of you for the Class of 62 scholarship, and then Bob, if you wouldn't mind saying a few words about the Class of 62. Priceless, right?
Thank you.
Three awards, one speech. These awards are being given in honor of our class president. His name was Paul Stockstead. You can't imagine that an entire career of great accomplishment and worldwide philanthropy started with a science project at Pearl River. Paul did something called a Millikan oil drop experiment, and it was very popular. He went to the Rockland County Science Fair, and he won it. He went to the New York State Science Fair, and he won it. He was then awarded the opportunity to go to the Seattle World's Fair for the National Science Fair, and he didn't win it. But he did go to Dartmouth for a bachelor's and a master's degree, and when he finished his education, he took that Millikan oil drop experiment and founded Pasco Scientific. Pasco today is one of the premier scientific test and experiment things for high schools and colleges. As I said, he's done a lifetime of philanthropy around the world. One of his more recent gifts was to the Pearl River schools. And that was a gift of a variety of science equipment that you folks may have used in the last year that came into about $50,000. That's the kind of guy this fella is. He's spent a lifetime of trying to foster advanced education, and he'd be absolutely delighted to see these awards being given. He, by the way, is the driving force behind this class of 1962 and the fundraising that has gone into it, which totals well over $140,000 now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bob. And actually, if you just stay up here a moment, the next scholarship is a Special Recognition Award in memory of Jane Schultz. The scholarship winner is Shane Wogan. And again, Bob, if you stay up here to present that award. Shane, come on up. A little bit about Shane. Shane ranks number 9 in his class with a 99 academic average at Pearl River High School. He plans on attending the University of Florida to study biomedical engineering. Shane played football and was on the winter and spring track teams. He was a member of the Interact Club, the Model UN Club, and the Science Olympiad. He's a volunteer EMS with the Pearl River Ambulance Corps, plays the Irish flute, tin whistle, and accordion, and he'll be having a concert a little bit later. So Bob, please present Shane with his award, take your photos, and tell us a little bit about Jane Schultz.
Stay right here. Shane, have I got a deal for you? This award is in memory of Jane Schultz, and the way it kind of goes is you get a call from Ryan, and he says the Jane Schultz Award is going to Shane Wogan. Okay. He's going to Florida, University of Florida, right, in biomedical engineering. So I turn around and send an email to Jerry, Jane's husband. And what comes back is an email saying, wow, I did my undergraduate and graduate work in biomedical engineering, and he spent a career in that. So Shane, not only do we have a small plaque that Jerry has supplied and a check, but we have a promise from Jerry that here we have a PhD, a full professor, who is at your beck and call for advice and counsel for 4 years. Shane, congratulations. I just want to take a moment. This is especially directed to you young ladies. Jane was an extraordinary woman in and of herself. She was the first woman to be awarded a master's degree in chemical engineering from Columbia University. She went on, received her doctorate in PhD in genetics from University of Michigan. And where this all comes back is in 1956, she was specifically recruited by the Pearl River School District to innovate the first advanced placement courses in Pearl River. And she worked for 4 years, dragging us through that. She was an amazing woman. I was one of her students and frequently a victim. But she was meticulous, she was demanding, and she was also inspiring. A woman who broke so many glass ceilings working at National Institutes of Health, the Veterans Administration, and doing research around the country. A wonderful, wonderful lady. I was honored to have known her. Thank you.
All right, our next scholarship is the Frank and Joe Ripa Memorial Award. The scholarship winner is Jack Lynch, and presenting this scholarship is a relative of the Ripas, Matt Virali. Okay, ready for your wows. Jack has a 102.5 average at Bergen Catholic High School, plans on attending Clemson University to study finance. Now, as you can imagine, Jack is a member of the National Honor Society as well as the Math, English, Social Studies, and Spanish Honor Societies. He played varsity baseball, was the treasurer of the Bergen Catholic Finance Club, and a member of the school newspaper. He has over 250 hours volunteering for the American Legion John Secor Post. Jack wrote in his essay about how volunteering at the American Legion has made him especially grateful for the men and women who have served our country, and in particular those who have made the ultimate sacrifice. So, Matt, if you wouldn't mind presenting Jack with his award, and then please come to the microphone and say a few words about Frank and Joe Ripa.
Okay, my cousins Elisa and John Ripa prepared a brief background that provides some insight into why the Rotary was such an important part of my uncle's life and why the charitable efforts of the Rotary were so important to him. My uncle Frank Ripa joined Pearl River Rotary soon after he retired in his mid-60s and remained an active member until his death in 2020 at the age of 92. Giving back to the community was always of utmost importance to him because as we get older, we get busy with our lives and families that we so often take for granted, the community that helped influence and mold us into who we have become. This was not lost on my uncle, and he loved what a unique town Pearl River is. From frequenting Hadler's hardware store for some home project advice, or Mel's Army Navy store for everything from sneakers to jeans and even Little League socks and hats. I'll add gym shorts in there too. Pearl River was and is the definition of community. As mature adults, we realize that community we are part of is so important. The Rotary is a large part of this community, and Frank Ripa wanted to be involved with giving back. Education was also very important to him. He was a child of the Depression and a recipient of the generosity of others, especially in getting a college education. This opportunity shaped the man he became, and that is why the scholarship program was so near and dear to his heart. He, with other Rotary members on the committee, put much sweat and tears into the program every year. He hoped that by helping others in the community receive a higher education, it would in some way provide an opportunity for them to reach the goals that they strive towards. He was so dedicated to this belief that when his wife Josephine passed away in 2014, he arranged a memorial scholarship in her name, and prior to his death, asked that his family contribute a portion of his estate to the Rotary Scholarship Program. That's how important he felt about it. To all the recipients today, please remember this gift as you continue through your life. Appreciate whatever community you live in, and especially the community clubs like Rotary. And when and if the time comes, try to give back to your communities wherever they may be. Thank you.
I'll just add very quickly that prior to Ryan taking over the scholarship committee, Frank Ripa did it for 20 plus more years without the benefit of computers. And he was Santa Claus, for those of you who went into Share Christmas. but he made packs of scholarship applications and handed them out to everybody on the committee that were this thick. He must have spent hundreds of dollars at the copy machine. So we're here at our final award of the night. Hold your applause. It's the Fred Schroeder Award. The scholarship winner is Grace Sullivan. Presenting the scholarship will be past Rotary President Ray Pucci. Is Grace here? There she is. Grace is a nursing major who just finished up her freshman year at the University of Scranton and has a 3.24 GPA. She won a Rotary Scholarship last year. She is in the nursing club at Scranton and provides community service through the club, which includes clinics in the Scranton area. She wrote in her essay how she is a certified safe person, which means she is available to any of her fellow students who might be in crisis, which she says is something that is pretty rewarding. Lastly, she will be volunteering at Nyack Hospital this summer. We hope we don't see her there. So Ray, please present Grace with her scholarship and take your photos and then tell us a little bit about Fred Schroeder, whom this award is named after.
Congratulations. This is great, Grace, that you're going to be a nurse. Fred Schroeder was a Pearl River guy. His father was a doctor in Pearl River, and Fred decided that he wanted to follow his father. He went to the prestigious university or college, Colgate College, graduated from Colgate, and then was admitted to the University of Rochester Medical School. I'm losing my voice, it's the allergies. From there, he went to the very prestigious The Ohio State University for medical school, and he graduated from medical school at The Ohio State University and was also a resident and intern there. With all those terrific credentials, he could have gone anywhere. He decided to come back to Pearl River. He was admitted to practice at Nyack Hospital, and he served on staff for 37 years. He was a Pearl River Rotarian for 44 years. He was an active member of the club, and he was given a prestigious Paul Harris Fellowship, which is not given out lightly by the club. Excuse me. Fred's specialty was internal medicine and cardiology. And this is back in the 70s. He had a thing for technology and telemetrics. He saw the value of the EMS people being connected to the hospital. So when they picked somebody up with a suspected heart attack or stroke, they could be in contact with the hospital to begin immediate diagnosis and care. Fred was a big advocate for that and pushed it through at Nyack Hospital and got Pearl River going as the first location in Rockland with telemetrics. God only knows how many people have been saved by Fred Schroeder and his foresight and stick-with-itness to get it done. On a personal note, he was our family physician. The family was going through a crisis. Our mother had advanced stages of Alzheimer's back in the 80s, and nobody knew anything. There weren't programs set up. You were on your own. Fred was not the type doctor where, what's your date of birth, what's your social security number? He knew your family background and who you were. He was the old-time family doctor, where I think he charged $3 and did house calls. But he was such a help to our family, just to keep us sane, to get our mother placed without guilt. He's the type nurse you need to be. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
All right, 20 scholarships, $3,500 each, $70,000 given out here tonight. I know Frank mentioned. I know Frank mentioned that there was some research done, and this is the largest scholarship giveaway foundation of any Rotary. I would suggest, or even say that it's probably the largest scholarship giving group of our size in any organization in the country that gives away this much money to students and scholarships. For all of you students, study hard, do well. When you come back to the community, we're ready to have you join our club with open arms. We're always looking for new members. And if you don't come back to this community, join a Rotary Club wherever you end up. With that said, I'll have our president and chairperson of the scholarship committee, Ryan O'Gorman, give the final words of the evening.
Joe, thank you very much for emceeing this night. It was a lot of weight lifted off my shoulders, so thank you. I'd like you to take a minute and look at the program and look at the back. And when you look at the back of the program, at the bottom, it has Rotary and our Rotary wheel, as well as Imagine Rotary. So two things, two takeaways from what I am about to say. One, wherever you go, look and see that Rotary wheel. Pay attention to it. It's in every community, in every town, in every city, in every state in this entire country and worldwide. Dorothy Filaramo, who is past president of the Rotary Club in 2015-2016, her and I did a project down in El Salvador, and right as you get out of the airport, it is a huge Rotary wheel. And it brought a smile to my face every time we went down there. And I want you to know that tonight's scholarships we gave out to 15 women and 5 men. That is telling. And I just want to say to the women, you are awesome. 2022-2023 Rotary year, Rotary International had their very first woman president in the entire history of Rotary. Jennifer Jones, and if you look at, again, the second piece to the next to the Rotary wheel, it says Imagine Rotary. Jennifer Jones says, imagine a world that deserves our best, where we get up each day knowing that we can make a difference. You have an opportunity to make a difference. Many of you already have, and many of you will continue to do that. And the hope is that you all do that. So congratulations for tonight. Excuse me, I'm remiss to forget to mention someone. We have the vice president of the Board of Education for Pearl River School District, Jackie Dubel-Craig, in the back here. Okay, so, but as we end tonight, think about this opportunity, and as everyone before me said, think about when you have an opportunity to give back to your community. So congratulations to the scholarship winners. I do ask that you stay behind. We'd like to take a group photo, and have a good evening.